Hello, good day. My name is Obanje Joseph. Today we are going to be talking about the intricacies of writing paper, seminar paper or article for for publication in journals, in bulletins, in academic, in academic publication. So there are certain benchmarks that a researcher or an academician or a student is expected to actually follow in order to come up with a well written article or seminar. What are those things that must be taken cognizance of in writing a paper for an article? Now, the first thing that an individual must do in the process of writing an article for a journal is, the title page. The title page, of course, contains the title of the paper or of the article. Then, of course, followed by the name of the author, you know, as well as his institution or his where he works. Okay, so those are the things. Then, and the year of that paper, the year that the paper was written. So those are the things for the title page. Then the next page is the abstract. The abstract must contain basically four things. The first is the thesis, the second is the objective, okay, the third is the theoretical framework as well as the method of data collection, the fourth is the finding slash recommendations. So those are the things that must be contained in the abstract. After that, the next page or the next thing is introduction. Under the introduction, the researcher is expected to actually come out clearly with the historical antecedents, of the research problem or the topic of the article. Okay, because if you're doing a topic, okay, on a particular area, you need to actually you have to come up with the historical background, of the problem that you are actually researching on. Okay, so after the introduction, the next thing that follows is theoretical, conceptual and theoretical framework or discourse. You need to bring out, certain concepts, okay, from the topic you are researching on. After the concepts, the next thing you're going to do is the theoretical framework. You need to look at, appropriate theory that will suit the topic. Whatever topic you're researching on, you must bring up a suitable theory that has to be, used to explain it in the work. Then the next one is the you know the the next one is the work itself. I'm talking about, you know the the major thing you're doing in the research work. Now, in the topic, okay, there are certain problems that have been identified in the topic. Of course, the topic, houses the problem of the study. So every topic is a problem. Every topic is a problem. So the analysis of the problem in itself is what comes after the theoretical framework. You have to analyze, what you are trying to do or what problem you have identified, in the topic. And after that, the next thing that follows is conclusion slash recommendations. Conclusion slash recommendations. Okay. So after that, you now go to the references. Now there is no straight jacketed way, one straight jacketed way of writing research, uh, an article for a journal. Some people will actually not follow the procedure I just talked about. Some people will look at it from the background to the study. That's the first one. After that, they'll go to the statement of the problem. After that, they go to the research questions. After that, they'll go to objectives of the study. Then thereafter, they will now go to literature review. Under the literature review, you have the conceptual framework as well as the theoretical framework. After that, they look at the methodology. After that, they will also look at, you know, uh, the they'll look at the findings. After that, they'll now go to recommendations as well as references. So there's no one way fits all in article writing. However, any method you are actually using, endeavor to ensure that your background to the study or your introduction is properly written. Then, under the introduction, if you are actually adopting the first approach, under the introduction, ensure that you state the problem, ensure that some research questions and objectives are actually, stated, and after that, you now talk about, the literature review. Under the literature review, you talk about conceptual framework, theoretical framework, and then the analysis of the discourse itself, analysis of the problem itself. Okay, you can decide to actually um, subdivide it into sub themes or subheadings. That is the analysis of the discourse in itself. However you want to look at it is not actually a problem. What is important is that all the major things that an article is expected to carry, you are you make reference to all of them, or you bring in all of them. Okay, so a quick summary, a quick recap is that it must have a title page, it must have an introduction, it must also have research question if you want to approach it from that perspective, research question, objectives of the study. you know After that, you look at the methodology, you look at literature review as well as theoretical framework. Thereafter, you look at the analysis of the discourse in itself. After that, you now go to conclusion and recommendations. Then eventually you put your references. Those are the major things that must be contained in a proper seminar paper. In a proper seminar paper. Having done that, then of course it will be sent out for review, and if it passes that stage, it means your paper will be published in the journal. Thank you very much.